Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Nonstop Talking with your girl here, Vivian Liu. Today I am starting my year-end video series. To kick things off, I am doing the best movies and TV shows I watched in 2021. Granted, I still haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie. I haven't started on season 2 of Witcher, but I want to get this all done before Christmas, so my reading and watching year is going to end a little early. It was really difficult trying to narrow down this year's list just because I watched a lot of amazing stuff in 2021. I mainly attribute this to my hybrid work schedule, which was great. Not complaining. To narrow down this list, I decided to not include rewatches, and in addition to the stuff that just missed this cut, but I still would highly recommend, I'm going to create another list for tomorrow, which I think I'll just randomly title it as most surprising. So right now for my best list, I have about 11 titles to get through, so let's get started. At number 11 is My Mad Fat Diary. I remember I first saw this recommendation on two booktubers channel. One of them was Chanel and then the other was Cindy. So it piqued my interest and I added it to my watch later list. Recently I decided to clean up my YouTube watch later list and decided to give My Mad Fat Diary a chance, and I regret not watching this earlier in my life. So I watched seasons 1 through 3 back to back, and it is absolutely amazing. So a quick synopsis. The first episode we are introduced to our main character, Rachel. Rachel just got out of a mental clinic. She's suffering from eating disorder, anxiety, and other stuff. Please look out for trigger warnings. And it just kind of follows her as she tries to readjust to, I guess, the outside world. And this show is just absolutely moving, and there is this one dream sequence where Rachel takes off her fat suit, and I literally cried. It's just, the show took me on such a roller coaster of emotions, and I just feel like it's so raw and authentic, and Rachel just feels so real and relatable. I think everyone has struggled with feeling fat, feeling ugly, and possibly having, you know, a bad relationship with food. And I know I've definitely have, and I just felt like I related a lot to Rachel in a way where from the first season I was just like, okay, this is probably going to show up on my best list. It is lower on my best list, and it's due to the fact that I felt like the third season was a bit too short. I felt like for the finale there could have been a little bit more, but I would still highly recommend it. In conclusion, I laughed, I cried, I felt anxious and embarrassed and angry, like just a roller coaster of emotions. And I think it's just, I think the show kind of tells us that, like, nobody is perfect, but people are trying in their own way, which I think is, you know, a message to just really take away. And after watching this, I like recommended it to my coworkers, I recommended it to my friends. It's really great. I would love to see this have like a reunion, and honestly, Rachel and Finn can have my broken heart if they wanted it. The first season, I think I gave it a 5 out of 5, and seasons 2 and 3, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. Number 10 is Squid Game. Okay, so I think Netflix has pretty much told us that everyone and their parents and their grandparents have seen this, so I'm gonna skip the synopsis of this crazy Korean drama. I loved Squid Game. I will have to admit that I was not happy with the conclusion. Honestly, I felt like the last episode in general dropped the ball a little bit, but I think with like the slow start and how it like builds up is just very amazing writing and like really good acting. The side characters in this are super endearing, and you're just wanting so hard to like root for them, and you love them. And the side characters honestly make the show. It's bleak, it's dark, it's violent, but it's very, very entertaining. And like I said, it is a little bit lower on this list because I wasn't satisfied with the conclusion. However, I would still recommend it, and you can't deny the impact it has had on pop culture and the social commentary it carries. I know that there will be a second season. I don't think it's the correct decision. I feel like whatever happens with the second season, it's not going to live up to the massive hype that the first one has created, but I will still watch the second season when it comes out. However, Netflix, please do a better job with the subtitles. I didn't watch it dub, but I heard dub was actually pretty bad. So I don't know why. I feel like Netflix, you have the money, do better. I am hardcore giving you the side eye right now. Number 9 is ShangChi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I watched this in theaters with 2 of my friends. For one of the 2, it was a rewatch, so that just shows how much they loved it, and I loved it as well, which is why it's here on this list. I remember Simu Liu from his days on Kim's Convenience, and I was so excited for him that he's able to join this big Marvel franchise. I was ecstatic watching like the action sequence, being able to see like martial arts incorporated in this, and just seeing like actual like just hand-on-hand combat. I feel like it's maybe not, but like maybe it's just me, like I feel like it's been a while since we gotten like really solid hand-to-hand combat scenes. I like the homage it plays to Rush Hour, and I was just beaming with pride seeing a lot of TVB actors and actresses a part of this, including Tony Leung, Fala Chen, and Yunhua. By the way, Yunhua was totally slighted in the promos. Like, this guy was in Kung Fu Hustle and a lot of other amazing stuff. Like, he should have had like a bigger spotlight. Like, it should have been known that he was in this movie as well. Like, when I saw him show up in theaters, me and my other friend who also grew up on TVB were like so I mean, it was a pleasant surprise, but at the same time, like, he should have gotten equally as much hype as the others. But honestly, Tony Leung really stole the spotlight in this. Like, he was the main character of this. And it's just amazing. He looks so cool. So cool. Especially in that scene where he's like at the, I think, gambling parlor. Anyways, this was just a really solid origin story. I enjoyed it a lot. It was very entertaining, and I can't wait for the next film. I can't wait to see where they take Shang-Chi's character, and I honestly cannot wait to see where Shang-Chi's sister, where she's gonna go next as well. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way as me, because I've talked about it with some friends and they don't agree with me, but I personally cannot see what Hollywood sees in Awkwafina, and I think I'm in the really minute minority in this, but there, I put it out there. Number 8 is Letterkenny. Did I watch all 9 seasons of this show this year, including the specials and Little Kenny? Yes. Yes, I did. How did I stumble upon this show that is not my genre, that never showed up on my radar and would have never shown up on my radar? So the story goes, my boyfriend's roommate actually recommended me the show a while back, never watched it, and I was over one time and he was showing it to another friend, and I like sat down and joined them, and we almost finished the first season together, and I was just like, I'm hooked, this is great, why didn't I start this when you recommended it to me back then? It's an amazing and hilarious show, and it started with such humble beginnings as a YouTube web series. So Letterkenny is a sitcom following, I guess, like Canadian hillbillies, and it's super funny. And the cast, like the ensemble, like they're just really great, and they bounce off such like hilarious and great energy off of each other, and it's just so much fun watching them interact. According to my boyfriend, a lot of people on the internet love Bonnie. Bonnie is gorgeous. She is the definition of 天使面孔魔鬼身材, which figuratively loosely translates to angel's face and devil's body. But for me, my girl crush from the beginning till now has always been Katie. Katie is absolutely stunning, and there's that moment where she walks in with that mini black dress of hers, and I'm just like, Katie, you will steal the show, and you steal my heart every single time. Honestly, this show has some attractive eye candy, and it's not just that, like the writing is great, the story is great, it's super funny. So if you're looking for a sitcom, you should definitely give this a try. I feel like, at least in the people in my life, like no one has really heard of this and no one has really watched it, and it's great. Like, y'all should watch it. It's on Hulu. Go check it out for some laughs. I feel like the show does have a lot of cheating, and I always feel like it's pushing the message that love is dead. Sorry, my camera was acting up, but now I'm back. And so continuing, I think I just spoke about number 8. I hope I'm counting this correctly. So now we're moving on to number 7. Number 7 is Criminal UK, or Criminal United Kingdom. Netflix introduced this to me because it knows that I love crime shows, and honestly, it's a very solid recommendation, Netflix. You know me well. The reason why I watched this was because the first episode has David Tennant, who I just absolutely adore from Doctor Who days, and I've seen a lot of his other stuff, and he's just such a great actor. This show is about a small group of detectives who are interviewing someone new every episode, and every episode is another super talented superstar actor or actress, and it's just very well acted, especially in the small confined space that it's in. It's gripping, it's anxiety driven, it's entertainment. I know that they have different ones for different countries. After finishing the 2 seasons of UK, I did move on to Spain, but at that time I wasn't in the mood to read subtitles. I might probably get back to it eventually, but honestly, just like the very slow reveals up to that final conclusion, confession, it's such a fantastic production. The acting is just very top notch. Highly recommend, especially if you're someone like me who just loves like crime shows. Number 6 is Broadchurch. I want to make it clear that I'm only recommending the first 2 seasons. However, if you watch the first 2 seasons, I don't know why you wouldn't just finish the 3rd, but only the first 2 are the ones that I really enjoyed. Broadchurch is a very difficult show to watch because it's so raw and intense in the emotions department. So the story is set in like a small beach town where everyone knows everyone. The body of a young boy is found, and pretty much the only people who could have killed him are your friends, family, someone you grew up with, just people you like have known your entire life. So this murder turns the town like upside down, and everyone has their own like secrets to protect, and you know, rumors start going crazy in this small town, and it's just very upsetting to watch the portrayal of the parents going through the loss of their young child. And it's also very interesting to see it from the side of the detectives. It's very, very emotion heavy, and I just want to get that through and across. And I think that's what makes it so gripping and so, like, you just can't stop watching it. Like, it hurts, but at the same time you're like, I need to know. David Tennant is in this as well. He plays like the new detective that comes to like shake things up, and he also just got out of a high profile case that he failed to solve. So there's a lot of characters and a lot that is going on, and the moment where you get to find out who the killer is, you're just so devastated. And then, so that's the first season, is discovering the body and finding the murder. And then the second season is, oh man, just that devastating court case. So, you know, they go to court, and it's just, it is so hard to watch. Just the court system, like, just tearing everyone apart. And the third season is just the end of town with a different crime. So yeah, this is really great. I think Coleman and Tennant, like, they have such a great dynamic in this, and watching them act off each other is just amazing because they're just so superbly talented. Sorry, talented. Let me get some water. So it's heartbreaking, it's grueling, it's emotionally driven. And so if you can handle all of that, go watch it. It's great, the first 2 seasons. And I know that there's like kind of a spin-off / similar show with David Tennant and another female partner. I read some negative reviews for it, but I feel like eventually I'll probably watch it. Number 5 is Bridgerton. Oh my god, Bridgerton. This is one of the first things I would say I watched at the start of 2021. It was like after all the hype from 2020, I was like, you know what, let's just watch it in the new year. I'm not a fan of historical romances, but I think Netflix kept pushing that everyone has seen this, everyone has seen this. So I was like, you know what, fine, if everyone has seen it, I'll watch it too. And I was just really, really pleasantly surprised at how much I ended up loving it. I wasn't expecting it because, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of historical romances, but this one has like fake dating. This one also has like hate to love, which are like 2 of my favorite like romance tropes. And Daphne and Simon, their chemistry is just sizzle. It's so good. In addition, the sets, the dresses, the costumes, the hair, the cast, everything about this is just captivating and just absolutely gorgeous. I know that there's going to be a second season coming out soon, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I know that a lot of people are upset that Simon is not coming back, and for me, I wasn't too worried about that. I felt like Simon and Daphne's story was already finished. They could just be written off as like enjoying being new parents and marriage life in their like house that's like further away. So I thought that was completely understandable. What I don't understand is Simon not coming back, but then they're gonna keep Daphne and bring her back. And it's like, but they were so in love. Why are they apart? So that doesn't make sense to me. Nonetheless, the teaser for the second season, the interaction between the 2 new leads was very, very spicy. And I think it's going to be good. I would say I am most looking forward to Eloise's story, and I absolutely love the actress for Penelope. She's in Dairy Girls, which is one of my favorite shows. Was it last year? So I'm excited to see her come back, and yeah, I am definitely excited to see what Bridgerton can do, because there's so many siblings and so many stories that they can still explore. Number 4 is You Are My Glory. 你是我的荣耀. This is, I think, the only Chinese drama that made it to the best list this year. And honestly, I love Di Liba so much. Her beauty and her grace, it just takes my breath away every single time. In addition, I have seen a lot of Yang Yang's dramas and some of his movies, and I just think he is a phenomenal actor, or he's just very strategic in the roles that he plays, honestly. And hearing that the two of them were going to be in a modern day romance together, I was ecstatic. I was so looking forward to this. And honestly, it lives up to the hype. I will admit there's not much plot in this. Like, nothing bad or nothing difficult happens, and like our main characters don't like have massive hurdles that they need to get through, which is kind of pleasant. Like, sometimes you just want something chill. You just want to watch two people happily fall in love, and if that's what you want, this is the drama for you. In short, it's about the romance between scientists, was it astrologist, and a movie star. So the movie star used to have a crush on the scientist when they were in school together, but the scientist like just brushed her off back in the day, and now they reunite in adulthood, and she needs his help to learn how to play the cell phone game that she is the sponsor for. And they just like meet up daily and train for the game, and slowly but surely they start falling for each other. And it's just the attractiveness and the cheesiness and the sweetness of this couple is just so good. If you like Chinese dramas, you do know that sometimes their shows and their movies come with a little bit of propaganda. This one, it's not too noticeable, so it's not too bad on that front. Like I said, if you are just looking for a chill, lighthearted, loving romance Asian drama to watch, then I would highly recommend this for you. I enjoyed it a lot. Number 3 is Attack on Titan seasons 1 through 3, Shingeki no Hyojin. So, a little backstory. I watched the first season when it came out, and honestly, the second season took a really long time to come out after that, and I forgot everything about it. So I was like, okay, let me rewatch the first in preparation for the second. But I never got through that rewatch, and I never continued with the anime after that. But you know, I think this year was announced that the manga series, if I am saying it correctly, has ended. So I was like, you know what, it's time, let's get back to it. So I rewatched the first season. Upon rewatch, is not as amazing, but it's still like super spectacular. And then I continue forward and watch the second and third season. The second season was great. The third season is batshit crazy, but it's just all very entertaining. I will watch the fourth, but it's on hiatus right now, so I kind of wanted to like have like more out before I start, or else it'll be that whole thing of like waiting for a really long time, which I think is probably gonna happen. The synopsis, it's about these people that live in a city that is all walled up, and the reason for that is in the outside world there are giants, and they are dangerous human eating giants, and they've always felt safe behind their walls until one day the giants come and break the walls, and their whole world is turned upside down. And like I said, the first season, I think the first season really like changed the game when it came out. I felt like it introduced a lot of fans to anime because it was on a streaming service at the time, and I think, yeah, so it brought people who like didn't know much about anime into anime, and it also brought a lot of like returners back to anime as well, or at least in my opinion I felt like it did that. So yeah, so the first season is explosive, the second season is still quality, but not as good, and then the third season is just like, where is this going? Like, we are in Nutso Town. Like, this is Crazyville right here. And I don't know how much more the anime can push. And I I mean, honestly, like, I'm sure it's gonna do more ridiculous, crazy, unbelievable antics, and I look forward to it. Number 2 is Wanda Vision. Is this a little bit high? In hindsight, yes, but it's too late now to change the list, so it's at the number 2 spot. And I feel like WandaVision, you know, is the start of the MCU becoming or creating miniseries to show on Disney Plus. So it's like the frontier person show. So props are given where props are due. Anyways, WandaVision. I just really enjoyed it. I love that it took the concept of like old school sitcoms, some of them that I have seen, and then just follows them throughout the different decades. That was a really cool and interesting concept, and I thought it was done in a really fun, cheeky way. And in addition, WandaVision is a pretty funny show, and I think it like laughs at itself as well. Plus we get to see characters from different movies, side characters that are interacting with each other, which is great as well. And obviously it leads into like more that's gonna happen in the MCU and with the next Doctor Strange movie. So there's all those things, and the story kind of just sets place after, I guess, Vision has died and how Wanda is coping with it, and it's not good. Just watching Wanda's growth and how she's dealing with loss and grief, I think was very good. I think that's like a weird way to describe it, but I'm running out of adjectives. Anyways, it was just, I really enjoyed it, and I feel like at this moment in time, the MCU can do no wrong, which is a cool yet frightening place to be. So let's see what will happen next. Number 1, and I think I've discussed this in my mid-year best and worst, and we're here now, and it's still number 1, and it's Schitt's Creek. I watched all 6 seasons this year, almost back to back, and it's amazing. It's an amazing show, and a lot of people already know this because I'm very late into the game, but this show had been recommended to me by my coworkers a few times, and it wasn't until one of my friends was introducing it to another friend, and I was there and I started watching, and then the other friend like got really hooked into it and got me really hooked into it, and we ended up finishing it together around-ish the same time. And honestly, this show this show is so good. It's so witty, so clever, so well written. Everything comes in a full circle. I will say, okay, let's kind of explain it briefly just in case you haven't seen it. It's pretty much about how this like extremely rich family loses all their wealth overnight and are like poor, and the father, like as a joke, bought this like rundown town, and now they're living out of a motel. And the first season is a little bit hard to get through because the characters are very annoying and not a lot of people's cup of tea. But once you get through the second season, and I tell this to new people I recommend it to, like, you have to get to at least the second season and you'll see the brilliance of it. Like, the annoying characteristics just grows on you because by the final season, these characters have matured and developed so much, and they just become so endearing, and you just have so much love for them, for the people that they have become. And I think that's what is amazing about this. Like, this show ends at a good time, and it gives itself such an amazing conclusion and send off. Like, you're very satisfied at the conclusion. And I would say, like, my favorite character is Alexis, and her song which I won't sing, is still one of like the highlights to me. And the way she goes like, ew, David, is also another highlight. And obviously I love David. I love everyone. Everyone is just so charming in their own sweet way, and you just really fall for this truly character driven show. It's beautiful. It's about family, it's about friendship, it's about the ups and downs of life, and it's on Netflix, so go watch it if you haven't seen it. But I do know that a lot of people have already seen it, and they already know how like fantastic it is. Anyways, that's it. Those are the best TVs and movies I watched in 2021. Let me know in the comments below if you have any recommendations for me, or if you've seen any of these that are on my list, and if you agree or not. Outro time. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in my next video whenever that is. Bye!